Ring. Ring. Hello? Hey, honey, how are you doing? Yeah, I just wanted to call and see how your day was going. No, that promotion didn't come through. I'm still part-time assistant, vice president of Bob's Retail. Yeah, the other guys. They're just too competitive, and I'm just not a real competitive guy. It's just how I am. I know that you taking this job to help support our family has been a real strain, and they've been putting you through a lot of overtime lately. But I have some really great news I'd like to share with you today. First off, I want to say thank you for being such a good sport last month when they offered me 2 weeks paid vacation in Cancun, and I refused it so that we could go practice our prepper skills out in the mountains of Alaska. I mean, thank you for not putting me in a position where I might have had to see another girl in a bikini, and that would, of course, caused me to stumble. That was a big sacrifice for you. Thank you for being such a good sport about that. But I have some amazing news. You see, since I'm only part-time now, because the other men, they've stepped up, I have more time to be cleaning around the house. And I was folding all of your clothes, and I went through your dresser, and I found this envelope, and it had all of this cash in it. And I'm sure it must have just been an oversight on your part, because there's a much better thing we can be doing with our cash than just saving it. And then I thought, you know what? I bet if she has some cash that she's forgotten about, I went to your mother and I asked her if she had any cash herself. And she did. She had $5,000 saved up. And then I thought, you know what? The smart thing to do would be our kids' college funds, I cashed that into. And I took all of our savings. And you know what I did? You're going to be so proud of me. I bought Bitcoin. I took all of that cash from all that overtime that you had saved. Clearly you forgot about it. It was an envelope in the top drawer of your dresser. Clearly you had forgotten about it. You didn't know it was there. And I bought Bitcoin. Well, yeah, I know we can't probably plan on any real profits from that for the next 5 to 7 years, but man, 7 or 8 years ago, it was really worth nothing. Now, look what it is. I mean, I'm sure you had no plans for that cash, but what? What if something happens? Well, where I got the idea was I was at lunch with some of these guys, the ones that are actually in charge of the company. And a lot of them had really nice clothes on, and they ordered some really cool stuff at dinner. And they told me, man, Bitcoin was the way to go. Cryptocurrencies, absolutely. So I just bought in. I mean, not right away. Not right away. They introduced me to this really nice woman. And of course, just as friends and everything. And she told me all the stuff about the blockchain and the metaverse and everything. And it sounded exactly like what we should be getting involved in. I mean, one day we're going to be able to build ourselves a cabin way out in the middle of nowhere. And we can eat bread and sausages and wine. And hello? Are you still there? Oh, yeah, there's something else, honey, too. In case it doesn't work out, I know what your fears are. These same people said that you could make all of that money back working a part-time job. Now, I'm not sure really what the details are of that part-time job they're talking about, but I know you're working a lot of hours now, and you'd love to go down to part-time and make all that money back. So I know you're super proud. Hello? Hello? Have you figured it out yet? Have you figured it out yet? What the plan of the pirates is? It's super turbo hyper-capitalism. I mean, isn't that the entire motive behind cryptocurrency? Make me wealthy now at the expense of anyone and everyone? You see, it's a war of the mind. when you lay it out in the terms that I just did the first 5 minutes of this video, it doesn't seem quite as attractive, does it? If you'd like to get read in on how the mind works and why people think one thing when really another is true, join us over at Patreon. $1 US actual currency dollar per month. Not per video, not per week. Fully refundable. Ask your crypto buddies if the money you invest is fully refundable. Are you guaranteed? Are you guaranteed to get your initial stake back? Psychological Operations teaches you to ask the right questions, not to just take people's words for it. The next major economic collapse is coming in the next month, maybe two. When the Fed comes out and they decide to raise interest rates, meaning that institutional investors can be guaranteed a return, the flight out of cryptocurrency is going to be epic, and it is going to collapse. But there are those who've already made their money. This is what pirates do. They create buzz. They create excitement. And they get a whole bunch of suckers involved in something, dumping their cash into it. They're going to take their windfalls. They're going to sell. But more importantly, they're going to not allow you to sell. And you're going to lose it all. Every bit of it, believe me. The government is coming. You add the raising of the interest rates into the regulation and the banning of cryptocurrency in India and China, more than half the world, literally more than half the world has banned it. In the last 2 years, we've seen this from government. Just comply, and then we see two responses. Surrender and or what? Well, or what is coming? Or what is coming? They've already seized bank accounts in Canada. They are monitoring crypto wallets. The exact opposite of what the crypto pirates told you could be the case. Cryptocurrencies will suffer massive losses as the Fed ends crazy speculation by hiking rates. You see, there's a lot of crypto guys out there that don't realize why institutional investors got involved in the first place. Cryptocurrencies are likely to plunge even further as the Federal Reserve raises interest rates and brings an era of crazy speculation to an end. At some stage, I expect to see massive losses in crypto because there's nothing there. It's dropped from 68 to 44. It's only around 40 now. It went from above 3 trillion to less than 2 trillion. Investors have pivoted away from riskier investments given the Fed prepares to hike interest rates numerous times in 2022, starting in March, starting very soon, in an effort to tame inflation. Kelly says the rout isn't done yet. Digital assets are in particular danger because they serve no purpose. It's still all fairy dust and very vulnerable to higher interest rates. If you push real interest rates up to a positive level, you will starve the crazy ideas of cash and funnel money towards projects that actually have a positive real economic return. It's something the crypto geniuses didn't think about. But they're not the only ones. They're not the only ones that didn't think down the road. Because everything these days is all emotional reaction. Now, I know everybody has their mind made up about whether they're going to acquiesce to certain medical procedures or not. This part of the video isn't attempting to make people go one way or the other. But they have buried the lead in this story. U.S. Army creates single vaccine against all COVID and SARS variants, researchers say. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are like, great, don't care, McKee, not getting it. It's the Army. That's not why I'm here. It's to show you a part of the story that they don't want you to know about. It has to do with the clinical trials. On Wednesday, Walter Reed officials said in a statement that his vaccine was not tested on the O, so to speak, but later clarified in an email that while the recently discovered variant was not part of the animal studies, it is being tested in the lab against clinical human trial samples. These neutralization assays test whether the antibodies can inhibit the growth of a virus. Now, here's the part that's going to blow your mind. You ready for this? The vaccine's human trials took longer than expected. Why? Because the lab needed to test the vaccine on subjects who had neither been vaccinated nor previously infected with COVID. Increasing vaccination rates and the rapid spread of the Delta and O variants made that difficult. Quote, with Omicron, there's no way really to escape this virus. You're not going to be able to avoid it. So I think pretty soon either the whole world will be V'd or I'd. The whole world. Now imagine if something like this happens again down the road and they don't have any subjects who have neither been V'd or I'd. Same place. Defense 1. This may not be the big one. Army scientists warn of deadlier pandemics to come. So they're already saying this is going to be the case. How are they going to do the testing? How are they going to do the testing? Where's the group of people going to come from that have not had the V or been I? Anyone asking that question? Anybody asking that question? There's a major earthquake coming this year. Financially and having to do with the 2020 sniffles. Make no mistake. I'm sure many of you haven't heard about this Army pan-coronavirus vaccine. Or the fact that they even needed people who were, what's the term they're using now? Pure of blood, I think is the term they're using. So anyway, you can't make this stuff up. If you'd like to get read in on how to find things like this and how to be able to look past and look through, join us. $1 US, fully refundable. If you go to Patreon, you pay your $1, you look at the over 90 videos that are there, not for you, no problem. I've refunded many single dollars. A lot of people have tried. It's sometimes just too much for them. They can't handle it. We'd love to have you. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next time.